I would never play Genshin Impact. Seriously, why would I ever play that game?
From this world?
It's just such a miserable and boring game. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? Don't even get me started on Genshin Impact. First and foremost, most prevalent themes in the game, from what I hear, are of course the quests, the many quests in the game. Now, of course, from what I hear, there are two types of quests, the story and the side. The story has a horrible story, pretty funny, right? From what I hear. And it involves something that's barely worth reading. But the side stories, if you can even call them that, are even worse, from what I hear. Not even worth giving a glance, better off just skipping through. When in reality, they're just giant time wasters. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? That's what it is, a giant time waster. Seriously, you gotta be kidding me. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact?
Let the show
It's
begin.
just such a boring game, and don't even get me started on the combat. All you do is just walk around and fight some guys. You just walk around and click, and that's it. There's no strategy involved. It's just walking around and clicking, and that's it. What a boring game. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact when that is the main components of the game? Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? Not very interesting, if you ask me. A game
Let's dance.
has to be interesting. When with combat like that, or like that from what I hear, interesting is a task that's impossible far away. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact and grind to level 37 within a month. I would never do that. I would never play Genshin Impact. It's just a waste of my time. That would involve doing lots of side quests, which, as previously mentioned, are just wastes of time. Why would I ever do something that is actively a waste of time? Seriously, why would I ever play Genshin Impact? I can't find a reason, therefore I will not. I will never play Genshin.
Disappear!
Not for a minute. I won't even give it a glance. Because I'll just see what I see from what I hear, and I'll hear something just from what I hear. But I will never play it. I'll never try and get a first-hand experience, because from what I hear, it's just a bunch of stuff I find to be poor, uninteresting, and boring game design. Apparently, the game is very popular, and it always perplexes me every time I hear it. If you like Genshin Impact, you gotta tell me, because from what I hear, it's just nothing interesting. The combat, obviously can't like the combat, because all you do is just walk around and click. There's no strategy. The combat, to be good, needs to have strategy. I would never play Genshin Impact, seriously, I would never play it. I would never play Genshin Impact. It's such a boring game, and don't even get me started on the story. The story is the most basic story from what I hear ever. Why would I ever play a story so basic? Seriously, why would I ever do that? Like, I would never. And the quest system is miserable. You start one side quest, and 900 quests later, guess what? You're still on the side quest. Those 900 quests were all just subplots to this one side quest with a boring story that no one cares about. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never do it. I would never. The side quests just go on and on from what I hear. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never do it. And there's like nothing, like sure, the world may be beautiful at a glance, but it takes so long to traverse from what I hear. It takes so long because the stamina system, from what I hear, just sucks. You run out of stamina way too fast, and it takes forever to get anywhere. And sure, the world in real life is a beautiful place, but would you want to walk everywhere? Would you want to take a 3-hour walk just to go to your Walmart? No, obviously not. And that's, from what I hear, is a lot like Genshin Impact. To get anywhere, you have to walk and walk, and oh, you finally made it. And guess what? Now you can waypoint or whatever. Sure, but to get to those waypoints, there's just so much walking with this a stamina system that you're gonna run out of, and I mean that just sucks. Nobody wants to do that much walking. And fighting, you just walk around and click on the enemies. There's no real strategy to do that. None at all. No real strategy. I would never play Genshin. I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment I would ever never play Genshin Impact. I wouldn't give it a shot. I wouldn't give it a chance. I would never play Genshin Impact. The combat is just so bad. I would just go around and click on enemies. There's no strategy. And it's not like a beating up everywhere where it's like brainless fun. It's just brainless without the fun. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact to get characters like Swarmnelius, Amber, Fremine, Barbara, Lisa, Noelle, Gaming, Dory, Kujo Sarah, Kaya, Mona, Ningguang, Lynette, Sayu, Mika, Yanfei, Bennett. I would never play Genshin Impact to get those characters. Speaking of, my blood boils just thinking about it. The pulses, I would never play Genshin Impact. The pulse system in Genshin Impact is so bad. It is so bad. First off, it's divided by weapons and characters. So imagine you want a character so bad. You want this character and you want him so bad. And you pull on the banner, and from what I hear, the rates are just miserable. And so guess what? You get a weapon. Ha ha ha. If you even get anything at all, that is. It's just mockery. It's just mockery. I would never ever play Genshin Impact. I would never do that. I would never play Genshin Impact. It's like bringing suffering upon yourself. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact. Seriously. And the combat is just like, just so really quick, and there's no strategy at all. There's no fun. No fun to be had. No fun allowed. It's no fun zone. And let's go back to the banners in the poll system for a moment. It is so bad. It's so bad. You want a character on the banner so bad, but guess what? You pull, and what do you end up with? A weapon. What? That's just mockery. That's just mockery. And to even pull in the first place, if you're a real gacha player like I am, you do 10 pulls exclusively. That's like, it's like gambling all your money at once instead of just a portion. And it's way more fun. So obviously, you have to do 10 pulls. The 10 pulls take so long to get because one 10 pull is like a bajillion gems from what I hear. And to get those gems, you have to do the side quests that go on and on for 9 bajillion years. And when you finally finish them, after 9 bajillion years, guess what? Zero. You get like basically nothing as far as primo gems go, from what I hear. Is this some kind of joke or something? Like, why would the devs do that? I would like to gamble, but they limit my gambling by hardly giving me any money. It's like low wages. How can you gamble a lot of money when you have no money? Now, that's different, because in real life, the amount of money doesn't matter. As long as you have money, you can gamble. A penny doesn't, $1 million, it's the same difference. Just go all in. But this has a minimum requirement. There is no penny gambling. Even if you want to do single pulls, it takes 900 years to get a pull, from what I hear.
Let's dance.
I would never. Dead serious, I would never.
Wind blade.
Especially the system.
Disappear.
Seriously, I would never play it. Combat, all you do is you just walk around and you click and that's it. That's the entirety of the combat. I would never play Genshin Impact. And the sub quests, the side quests, unlike Final Fantasy XIV, where you could go around with your friends and do side quests that are fun, and like they can like stand there and you can mess with them. Genshin Impact is not like that. You cannot do side quests while your friends are around, so you can't even laugh at your friends' funny, stupid faces while you do your side quests. All you can do is dungeons, from what I hear. Imagine this: you are on Genshin Impact and you want to do multiplayer. Somehow your friend also wants to play Genshin Impact. More than one person plays that game. And you go in and you're like, oh, let's do some side quests. Nope, can't. Let's do some story. No, you cannot. Sorry. All you can do is the dungeons. What? No, this is nothing like that. The multiplayer in this game sucks. The side quests suck. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never do that. I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. I would never play it. And there's boss fights, but those are in the main story. Like I said, you never gonna do it because you have to do the 900 part side quest. Oh yippee, so fun. And if the side quest does have a boss, it's not very interesting. Just like the main ones. What a shocker. What a shocker. And can you believe it? I would never play Genshin Impact, even though the game is not finished. And just say I'm giving it unfair judgment because the game's not even finished. But no, I would never play it. I don't even care. I don't even give a swag if the game's not finished. I would never, ever. I would never, ever play Genshin Impact.
Let the show begin.
And combat is so bad. There's like zero strategy. Why would I play a game that requires zero strategy? It's so boring. Like, what is this? A kid's game? Yes, it is. But games are supposed to be for adults. And like kids, they shouldn't be allowed to play games because they have to go to school. I just have to go to work. The kids do not have to go to work. They have to go to school, and that keeps them busy. Sure, I have to go to work, but okay, next topic, changing topic. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact and get characters like I would never play Genshin Impact and get characters like Swarmnelius, Amber, Fremine, Barbara, Noelle, Lisa, Gaming, Dory, Kujo Sarah, Kaya, Kujo Sarah, Mona, Ningguang, Lynette, Sayu, Mika, Yanfei, Bennett. I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never play Genshin Impact and do that. Why would I ever do that? Seriously. I'm dead serious with this one. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? I have no clue. It just makes no sense. I would never play Genshin Impact. Oh, and don't even get me started on the world from what I hear. From what I hear, the world is just sure, like, it may look nice, but in reality, it takes forever to get through. It's like the Mojave Desert. Sure, the Mojave Desert may be, well, okay, it's not as nice looking. It's a lot more nice looking than the Mojave Desert, I will give it that. But a Mojave Desert drive takes like many hours. It's like 3 hours to cross it from Southern California to Northern California on a good day. And Genshin Impact's like the same thing, except instead of taking I don't know, freaking 3 hours, it's like 5 hours. And why? Why would I want to subject myself to that? I would never play Genshin Impact. I'm dead serious. I would never play that. I would never play Genshin Impact. And the fighting, all you do is just run around and click. I would never play Genshin Impact. Never. I would never grind to level 37 in like a month or two. I would never do that. Not for a moment. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play it. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? You just go around and you click, and yep, that's about it. That's about it. Nothing exciting. And occasionally there's side quests. But guess what? You start a side quest, 800 years later you find done with that side quest. It's like a 900 part thing. That's gotta be some kind of weird joke. It's gotta be some kind of weird joke. And you don't even get any gems for all your travels.
This is not the end.
What a bothersome thing. What a bothersome.
Getting geared. Frost is coming. Wind blade.
So I would never play Genshin Impact. Dead serious. I would never play it. I would not.
Maybe
I would never play
I wasn't meant for this world.
it. Not for a moment. And the side quests just take so long to do. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? I would personally never. I would never play Genshin Impact.
Hey!
Let the show begin.
I would never play Genshin Impact. And the boss fights, they're not very interesting. They're just a bunch of meat sponges that take forever to kill, from what I hear. From what I hear, of course. From what I hear. And that's about it. That's about it. There's nothing to invade. I have no interesting patterns. And of course, combat is just clicking around, as previously mentioned. So it's not like there's any strategy to be had. It's just...
Let's dance.
A bunch of them.
Wind blade. Frost is coming.
I would never play Genshin Impact. Dead serious, I would never play it. I would never play Genshin. I would not even think about playing Genshin.
Hey! Getting here.
I would never play Genshin Impact and get characters like Swarnelius, Amber, Fremine, Barbara, Lisa, Noelle, Gaming. Dory, Kujo, Sarah, Kaya, Mona, Ningguang, Lynette, Sayu, Mika, Yanfei, Bennett. I would never play Genshin Impact and get those characters. I would never do that. And I would never get to level 37 in just a few months. I would never. I wouldn't even think about it. I would never do that. I would never think about it. I would never play Genshin Impact. There's nothing. The side quests are horrible. You start a side quest and 900 years later, you finally finish that side quest for minimal reward. It's like doing a 50-hour shift at work and then only getting paid $2. $2, bro. Nobody's down for that. Nobody is down for that. How is anybody down to play Genshin Impact? I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I really do not. But apparently people like this game, and if you like Genshin Impact, you gotta tell me why. Like, what about Genshin Impact do you like so much? Because I cannot find a single thing. It is the most perplexing thing to me how anybody can like Genshin Impact. The combat, you just walk around and click stuff. I mean, that's it. How does anybody like Genshin Impact? It's a mystery to me. It truly is. It truly is a mystery to me. How does anybody like Genshin Impact? It just seems like the most boring game. And the side quest, you start a side quest, and you're like, okay, it seems pretty easy. You finish it, I go, wait, can you do another side quest? And you do that. And you're like, okay, and then it just keeps going and going and going. And it's like your mom tells you to go to Walmart, and then you get back from Walmart, she tells you to get the groceries. Pretty manageable, right? And then she tells you, oh, can you go take my car to do this? Okay. And then she's like, okay, well now can you go pick up my medicine? Like, okay, mom, I guess. And then she goes on to say, oh, well, how about you go deliver this to my friend? I'm like, okay, mom, I'll go do that too. And this is a poor analogy because of course you do all these things because just for the effect that you love your mom. But Genshin Impact is not your mom. So it's just a bunch of tedious, boring work that you just want to get out of. Why would you ever play Genshin Impact when that's what you're up to? See, when I put it like that, it sounds really miserable. I mean, from what I hear, I can't be too certain on any of this stuff because I never play Genshin Impact, and I never will. I'll never play Genshin Impact. I'll never play it. I never play Genshin Impact. Seriously. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? Such a boring game. I would rather play Mario Brothers for the arcade than play Genshin Impact. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I would rather do that. Because Mario Brothers for the arcade is awesome.
Getting here.
Why would I ever want to play Genshin Impact though? No reason. I would never want to play Genshin Impact. I never would want to play Genshin Impact. I would rather play Rampage for the arcade than Genshin Impact. Because that game is awesome. Genshin Impact, not awesome. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? I never will. Can't. All this talking just so I can tell you that I can't find a reason. I'm trying to check it out myself. I'm trying to give the game a fair chance. In my head, I'll never play it. But, you know, on paper, I'll try and give it a fair chance. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, there's just nothing to be found in it. Why would I ever play Genshin Impact? Dead serious. So it's a game for babies. Games are for men. Babies go to school, men go to work and play. Men go to work and they work very hard. And all right, next topic. Yeah, and the stories in this game, they're not even. It's a bunch of the most basic stories ever. I think from what I've heard, I think they got robots making these stories because they are so boring. I would never, ever play Genshin Impact with stories like this. Like, come on. They're just time wasters. That's it. I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. I'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in my ear than play Genshin Impact. And I mean that. I honestly mean that. I'm glad I don't play Genshin Impact because I kind of don't want a buffalo to do that to me. But I would rather that happen because the story is just so long from what I hear. Not worth reading from what I hear. And you can't skip it from what I hear. I would never play Genshin Impact. I'm dead serious. I would never play it. Not for a moment. Not to mention the reputation assigned with Genshin Impact players is not positive, and I can see why. A bunch of children characters. I like cool characters, not children characters. And the women like the twink man characters. I like cool characters. I would never play Genshin Impact. Would never play it. The characters are so mediocre from what I hear. I would never play Genshin Impact. And the combat is so boring. You just run around and click, and there's no strategy involved. Games need strategy. They need depth. I would rather play Gauntlet 4 for the Super Nintendo, because that game's awesome and requires depth. You have to go through the hordes of enemies. And the side quests, oh my gosh, they just go on and on and on and on. They never end. You start a side quest, you might as well sell your soul to the devil because you're not living again. There's no difference. There's honestly no difference. Genshin Impact was made by the devil, and I'll never play it. That is why I'll never play it. It's made by the devil. There's no difference. It's an evil game. It is an evil game. And don't even get me started on the polls. You have to get so many gems, from what I hear, to do a poll, from what I hear. And when you do a poll, you will never... I've seen the rates. I've seen the statistics. You will never get a character, let alone a 5-star. You will never even get a 5-star weapon, because the rates are so bad. And when you do get a 5-star weapon, you just, from what I hear, want to shoot yourself because you didn't get a character instead. Characters make the game, not the weapons. Not the weapons, the characters. And the characters are what have the most impact in the game, from what I hear. So why on earth would they give you a weapon? Why would they separate them? Why would they separate them? Just have them not have them in separate. Like, I just don't understand. I just do not understand. And these characters yap, and they just go on over and over for... They just go on over and over for like 26 minutes about the same stuff, just over and over again. There's no point to any of it either. It's just a bunch of nonsense constantly spewed out with no meaning or purpose to it. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why anyone would like to play Genshin Impact. Personally, I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact. That Paimon character, or whatever it's called, yeah, they're not that funny. I'm sorry, Genshin fans, they're not that funny. And that Swarmnelius guy is kind of cool, and that D-Luke guy is kind of cool, but you didn't catch me saying that because I don't play Genshin Impact. I don't play Genshin Impact, and I just study. I'm a scholar. I'm a scholar, and I have to see why things exist. And this thing is like a blemish to our Earth. It is not a good game. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never do it. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact. The story is so bad, there's no even point in paying attention. And the side quests, you start one, and they just go on and 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 on, and they piss on you by giving you not even a single poll. And I would never play Genshin Impact. I would want to get characters when I play a game. I definitely would. I would want to get the characters. And if I play Genshin Impact, I would look around at the characters and see that there's none I would even get. I would never get characters like Swarmnelius, Amber, Fremine, Barbara, Lisa, Noelle, Gaming, Dory, Kujo Sarah, Kaya, Mona, Ningguang, Lynette, Sayu, Mika, Yanfei. Alright, fruit snacks. Great. Fruit snacks. And Bennett. Yeah, I would never play.
Benny's
I would never get these characters. I would never get them. I would never play Genshin Impact and get these characters. Dead serious. I'm dead serious. I would never do that. And the side quests, they just seem to be endless in quantity and just come over and over. I would never play Genshin Impact for that alone. It's something that would drive a person like me insane. It honestly is. And I'm very sane. I'm very sane, and I like to stay that way. I like to stay sane, so I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. I would never play Genshin Impact. No, and the multiplayer is just so bad. You only get like a fourth of the game available to you multiplayer. It's just the dungeons. You can't even do side quests in multiplayer. You have to leave multiplayer to do the side quests on your own. As if those things were not miserable and boring enough. But you can do the story quest for some reason? This makes no sense. Who came up with this game? I cannot believe it. It has to be children. It has to be children. I mean, the game is Chinese after all. Is that too horrible of an assumption? Now, the animation in this game, let's talk about the animation. I'm not going to hate on the art because we have to remember, viewers of this video, we have to remember each person is an individual and they all put in work. And in the workplace, each person should be recognized for their own efforts and that they put in their work. Just because the larger picture is horrible does not mean we should hate on the individual. That is why I will say the animation in this game is a solid 5 out of 10. I won't say it's bad. It's probably done by children or in horrible work conditions, but I can't hate. They're all individuals, and they deserve to be recognized for their efforts. So the animation's okay. I'll give them that. They clearly got that money, you know, the Chinese money. Is this game Chinese? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. It's like a big deal. But yeah, long story short, I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. I would never, ever, ever, ever play Genshin Impact. It's so non-challenging. It's almost humiliating. It's like the game spits on you all the time, treating you like a baby or like a kid in the kids game. That is ridiculous. That is just ridiculous, honestly. I would never play Genshin Impact. I have more self-respect than that. I would never play. I would rather play Tower of Druaga for the NES or the arcade, either way for me, because both of those games are awesome and I like them both. I like them both and they're great games. Genshin Impact, not so much of a great game. I would never play Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact. So yeah, I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. I would never play it. I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. I would never play Genshin Impact. Like, I'm dead serious, dude. I would never play Genshin. It's not even that interesting to me on the outside. I would never play. I would never play Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. Wouldn't even think about Genshin Impact. I mean, like the poll system's so horrible. It's like it's asking you to spend money on Genshin Impact. I would never spend money on Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. You gotta be kidding me. With phrase like that, you spend money to get the polls that they starve you so much of. Like, why would I ever spend money on Genshin Impact? Just for characters that are okay? I would never spend money on Genshin Impact. Not for a moment. Especially on something so useless. I would never spend on polls. Come on. From what I hear, it's just such a horrible system. I would never play Genshin Impact. I don't even care about Genshin Impact. I hate Genshin Impact. I would never play Genshin Impact. So yeah, I was just bored, so decided to record this video. There's probably no footage, so because it's just me talking. So it's probably just be a black screen. Sorry about that, but I would never play Genshin Impact.